Welcome back to Reddit Tree. Today we are back with another question for you all. If 2021 is as good as 2020 was bad, what will we see happen in 2021? Comment down below your answers and subscribe to never miss an upload. All thanks to the author for letting me use their question. Be sure to check it out. First answer. Aliens show up and they're actually total brothers. Give us the cure for all diseases, show us how to do cold fusion / how to harness dark energy as a power source, show how to travel through space and time, give us crazy mind expanding alien drugs, oh, and also they have two sexes and they're both really hot and horny for human mating. All this crazy alien sex and mind expansion causes all humans to finally live in harmony and we get accepted into the Galactic Federation of Planets, finally. Second answer. The guys who write the Expanse novels used to work for him. Their final novel is due to come out in 2021. They will have written and published an entire 9-volume series in between Martin putting out his last novel and whenever the next one comes out. A Song of Delay and Procrastination started when I was a small kid, and I've long since stopped reading it due to genetic problems. I'm almost certainly going to be dead before he manages to finish it. That's how shitty his publishing schedule is. Trying to read it now would just mean that I die with questions unanswered. Fuck that. Not worth it. Third answer. Quantum chess is a game where you can make quantum moves. A quantum move is two moves with the same piece, except it only has a 50% of working. That is 50/50. It's either double move or zero moves this turn. A quantum move piece is then marked as 50% chance of being on both squares. Both the original, and the 2 moves away location. But, you can't see if it worked. Once something happens that requires that piece to be there, usually, when you use it to take another piece, the uncertainty gets resolved and you get to see where it really was all along. You can quantum move pieces, resulting in a 50/25/25 split, and pieces can be killed without you knowing if it was ever really there, or if the piece is still back at the starting point. Fun concept, nice implementation. Requires some interest in chess. Not a lot, but a bit. Fifth answer. Back in the day, my friends and I would play nightmare chess. Basically a chess game, but in addition each player got a hand of cards that they could play that would change the game, from building barriers to changing the way a piece could move to insta-kills or revivals, etc. Incredibly fun, but the downside is it can really extend a game. Once my friend and I played a 6-hour game that was still going strong when everybody forced us to stop. Sixth answer. I share the same concern. The thing is, the 20th century was one goddamn unprecedented nightmare after the other for at least half the time. Most of us on Reddit are just A, too young to have experienced the main events, WWI, Great Depression, World War II, Cold War-related wars and oppression, and B, born in a country that was more quickly insulated from problems and benefited from global inequity and rapid technological development. There's no good reason yet to believe the 21st century should be significantly better. Seventh answer. COVID develops sentience, and all of it leaps from the folks it's infecting and travels from all across the globe to one central location. The world looks on in horror as so many viral bodies form together in a mass they become visible to the human eye. Larger and larger it grows, until all the virus has gathered, and a figure takes shape. Agonizingly slowly, the virus thing turns its head left, then right, and then left once more. The infectious maw yawns open, columns of viral tentacles jutting ominously from within, and the thing begins to speak. Oh shit, I'm sorry dudes. I didn't realize I did that. Don't worry, I can fix it. A whiptail, like a scorpion's dipped in toxic waste, sweeps gently over the onlooking crowd, and among the gasps and startled shrieks a wave of warmth ripples over the land. All around the world, horrors begin somehow reversing. The lives taken, apparently accidentally, are restored, and people's loved ones find themselves back home unharmed. Herman Cain takes back his Twitter account. But more and more, all over. People realize no one should be persecuted for being a different color, worshipping someone else, loving someone else, or what have you. Genocidal impulses are wiped out of humanity, no one seeks to inflict harm on others, legally or physically. Wealth inequality is cured, and everyone is thriving. The environment is fixed. As a final act, the Corona thing gestures once more, and everyone gets a PS5, because it wants more players to compete against for the current popular shooter. The thing waves to the crowd, and then vanishes as the particles break apart and sink deep down into the earth. Hey there you, yes you, please help me get 50 subscribers, subscribe now to get updated every day. 8th answer. PETA's current CEO resigns position and the new one actually started helping animals. They only euthanize when necessary, they'll look into various reports of animal neglect and abuse. The new CEO forces all of their workers to tone down their activism, and instead focus on properly educating people on veganism instead of tossing blood and guts in their faces. They'll even start making their own brand of vegan food, specifically priced so that it's at least affordable and more accessible. Basically they'll stop acting like a cult and start acing like an animal rights organization. 9th answer. Well, get a vaccine, things will go back to normal. We will finally address police reform, homelessness crisis, climate change, corporate tax avoidance. People will realize how much misinformation is on Facebook and start being nice to other people of the opposite political party. And everyone gets to choose between a new puppy or kitten paid for by taxes on the top 1%. 10th answer. Well, actually, if we use the cost of Mr. Noodle's ramen as a baseline, it's about 23 cents CAD ATM per package. A package is about 4.5 x 3.75. This works out to be about 0.117 square feet. The average house in Canada appears to be about 2,200 square feet. Apparently there is about 6.3 board feet per square foot of house. So 6.3 * 2200 is 13,860. Divide that by 9 and you get 1,540. Times 23 cents and you get $354.20, so it would likely cost about that much. TLDR, it would cost about $354.20 to build a house out of ramen, not counting cabinetry and such. Edit, I made wrong and divided by 9 instead of multiplied by 9. It should actually be $28,690.20. 11th answer. University will be reformed to a cheaper, more efficient system instead of sucking out £50,000, with interest, for PowerPoint presentations and tests designed solely to make students fail, rather than test knowledge and interpretation. Affordable housing options and finance options. Rent is as expensive as a mortgage and high house prices are keeping young people at the bottom of the ladder. Drugs like weed and psychedelics being decriminalized and dangerous foods such as high sugar and bad fat being made a controlled substance. They are addictive and have an effect on mental health. Cigarettes being made illegal. Population redistribution. People will be able to afford more land and nicer living arrangements outside of overpopulated cities. Better education on mental health, healthy relationships, and unhealthy relationships. 12th answer. I'll lose job, the landowner will terminate my rental, and someone in my family will die. And all online games will have a lot of must-have expensive DLCs, but at least new games release ahead of time. Oh, and Warcraft 3 gets an awesome remaster that's free for game owners and releases ahead of time. Which is good, considering the fact that I won't get into beta. I'll be extremely mad when my PS5 breaks, but I'll stay sober all year regardless. But at least I'll attend a lot of conventions and events that won't be cancelled, and I'll grow a long and thick beard. 13th answer. All societies come together to create one human nation and work towards betterment of life and type 1 civilization with the following achievements. Cancer and all incurable diseases are now curable. New frontiers in mental health treatment, reducing suicide and violence to near elimination. No one sleeps hungry. No more new wars, and current conflicts end. Access to food, shelter, internet, medical care is considered basic human rights. Creation of AI and robots has eliminated most physical labor. Jobs are now only a means to blossom human creativity and talent. Forgiveness and understanding becomes mantra of all humans. Last but not the least answer. January, a huge polar vortex causes the Arctic to reach -470 degrees Fahrenheit, freezing the entirety of Antarctica. Huge icebergs will form. February, some of the older, smaller icebergs move northward to make way for the new ones. Because of the polar vortex, it is able to reach Africa, where they're able to have a temporary source of fresh water for everyone. There is also peace made in the Middle East. March, a vaccine is finally created, and it is free for everybody, with the only side effect being a small loss of bias. In America, a fake huge riot date would be set by the government in different places. They would all be captured and vaccinated. They would then informed of truth. April, nothing happens. Literally nothing happens but the sweet rain and flowers growing. This month would give people time to kick back and relax. Weeks are announced to be 4 days long instead of 5. May, however, a homophobic cult sweeps the globe, with one being the leader. In return, all of the LGBTQ and people form a group of their own to fight back. They agree to battle by the Grand Canyon. After a war where people would slayed by tongues, the leaders of both groups get in a physical fight and fall down the canyon and miraculously survive the tumble. They get to know each other in the process of surviving and create peace. After a week they are found by a flock of rosy-faced lovebirds who call and screech until they get enough attention, from which some tourists call an emergency number for their rescue. June, the post-homophobic leader announces that members of the LGBTQ and community are good people, peace is made. Before they're off air, they give a speech about how amazing and misunderstood birds are, and all abused parrots are sent to a loving home. July, inspired by June's activity, Furry set up a huge gaming event for the gamers, which people all over the globe thoroughly enjoyed. After it is over they reveal that it was the furries who set it up, for which the gamers would be very grateful, as they have made friendships with the furs in disguise over the event. August, the gamers feel bad that all furry cons were cancelled. Meanwhile they were able to game with their friends over mic perfectly fine. They set up a hobby convention for everybody and anybody. There would be nearly 500,000 attendees. At the end of the event, the weebs, gamers, and furries all made up with each other. September, a whopping $60 million worth of money is made from the convention, which is donated to the poor, as well as funding for underpaid artists. October, skeletons. Real, dancing skeletons. No further info. November, for Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, all of the famous, wholesome people come back to life for a day. We discover there is an afterlife where you will be happy. December, turns out, Santa is actually real. Because of religious peace made around February, all religions get together to celebrate the new made Krista Kanzak. And guess what? You actually achieved your New Year's resolution. Great F***ing job, I'm proud.